Happy New Year. We're here. It's 2016. Happy Homebrew Wednesday.
Happy New Year.
Happy Dry Stout. This is our beer that we made for the malt experiment.
You ever think about using avant-garde Pilsner malt for a
Pilsner
stout?
malt for
Yeah.
a stout? Who'd have thunk it?
It's tasty.
That's pretty good. Irish ale
Nice.
yeast, some black malt,
Yeah.
not a whole lot, a whole bunch of oats. There's a whole bunch of oats in this.
Resurrected that.
So it gives it that-
Irish yeast.
Creamy mouthfeel.
Yeah, it's a good one. It finishes dry, but it's not a real high alcohol.
4.2%. So it's one you
Tasty.
could
Nice.
run the snowblower with.
You could mow the
It's a
snowblower.
snowblower beer.
Yeah.
So we figured we'd just do something simple this week. We're gonna rack over the other half of the supercharger. First half is freaking delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only been not even a week in the keg, and I was tasting on it last night, and it's just very, very good.
It's awesome.
We had it for the party.
We changed the recipe up. First we did a 10-gallon batch. And then we changed the recipe on the grains because we can't get Gladfield malt here in the States. At least not that I'm aware of. So we used some Carahel and then our favorite Bonlander Munich. So it does give it a bit of that biscuity character that we like in the Dropkick Nate so much. So it's got a little familiarity in the grains from that. But
Yeah.
it's freaking, it really lets the hops shine on, and just, it's great beer. Great beer.
It really is good.
So we got a little bit of footage from the party. I'm going to go ahead and just talk about that. I'll put some clips over the top of us here.
Head count was with the children. It was 43.
43, yeah.
43
And we were
total.
expecting maybe 50
Yeah.
at the most. So it was a great turnout. Everyone had a great time. Kids ran around like crazy. Adults ran around like crazy.
The dog ran around crazy.
The dog ran around. She had a blast. Got to play with a lot of kids and the adults
And
too.
the cat slept on the bed upstairs.
Like the whole time. Everybody got to taste homebrew. They were drinking on all the homebrew.
Making fun of Elder.
Making fun of Elder. Some funny pictures.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop in here. But, you know, it's like a normal day. Excellent food. The food was awesome.
It was tremendous.
I mean, the appetizers alone would have sufficed.
Yeah.
It was just so much going on. Too much food for one party. Too much food for 43 people. Let's put it that way. Wish you all could have come by and helped us with that. So
Anyway, we just bottled up the last of the dry stout off the keg so we could empty out a keg so we could transfer this other 5-gallon of the supercharger into a keg.
Yep.
So that's it. And we
Sounds
started
nice.
thinking about what beers we had made this year.
Last year.
This past year.
No, this past year. I thought you said this year.
We don't pasteurize these.
We don't pasteurize.
There was past year's beers.
We're going to make this beer go pasteurize.
In 2015.
In 2015, we brewed
UTTB.
some beer. In January, we brewed the Cascade Smash beer using Golden Promise and BH Brewing's hops. That was an awesome beer.
That was our first beer.
To kick off the year. Second beer of the year was a 10-gallon batch of Dropkick Nate. And then the third beer was the Prickly Pear Pale Ale with the Texas prickly pears.
Prickly pears.
That was fun. And then moving into February, we did the Speckled Heifer. Mrs. Elder P did that one for her Bunko party.
Bunko group. Yeah.
And then I did a version of Mellowdown Easy. That was my version 5 of that beer. And that went into the American Homebrewers Association contest, homebrew contest, which I failed miserably. Didn't place. No, I'll say I failed. But after that, we did the Dancing Savage IPA, which was the Calypso and Warrior hopped beer. Calypso showcased on that one. And then we did Hoppy Brown Bunny for the first time, and that was that quick brew. We turned that thing around in 12 days, I think it was from grain to glass.
Was that around Easter?
It was for Jasmine's, my daughter's birthday party.
Yeah.
Not for her or her friends, but for the adults.
Yeah, for the adults who were going to attend the party.
That was the only thing we brewed in March, and then in April we did the Lemon Drop IPA for the hop experiment.
Hop experiment.
And we also did another 10-gallon batch at Dropkick Nate. And then in May was the biggest brew month of the year because it was a big party in June that I was brewing for, if you guys remember. Actually did another batch of Hoppy Brown Bunny. That was for our personal consumption. And then I did another one right after that. So back-to-back Hoppy Brown Bunny for the party. That was the second one. And then a coconut IPA. We did Rick Magin's Big Twin Brewing's his Super ESB 10-gallon batch. Did PMS Pineapple Mango Saison, the Fancy Lawnmower Clone, the Kolsch, 10 gallons of that. Did the Yellow Rose, which was another clone from Lone Pint down in Texas. And then at the end of the month we did a batch of Fuzzy Caterpillar IPA, which is phenomenal beer.
Yeah,
we could brew that one again.
That was good, yeah.
In June, we did another batch of Mellow Down Easy. That would have been version 6. And then another 10 gallons of Dropkick Nate.
There's a pattern
There's
developing.
a pattern here, isn't there, folks? So we do like Dropkick Nate. It's our house ale. Pale. Moving into July was a little slower. We did the Kolsch Citra, which is all Citra-based Kolsch. And the 3-cent Pale Ale.
Which was the Centennial hops.
Yes, that was our first Centennial pickings from this year's.
From this year's
last
hops.
year's
From
hops,
all our own homegrown hops.
And then in August, we did our SJ Pour Challenge beers. My first version I didn't like, and that became the Strawberry Mint Saison some of you have had. And then Elder did the Cherry Stout, and I did my official entry of PMS. And then
at the end of
the month,
my buddy and I brewed up a 10-gallon batch of what was to be a little bit twangy.
It turned out to be, yeah.
So we were trying to figure a name for it. We haven't really put any name on it, but it was underpitched in the yeast, and so it gave it a little bit of an off taste. So
that was a hard one to finish. In fact, it's still not gone, is it?
There's still some of that.
So that was brewed at the end of August, and here it is, January. So a couple months in the keg. In September, we did the experimental IPA. That was the one I did with 9 different types of hops. That was a really fun tropical, not so much citrus, but tropical IPA. Rich's World Beer Tour did a review of it.
We took some of that out to Philly, too.
We took some out to Philly with us. That was a fun beer. It was real delicious. Then we had tried the first lager, Schwarzhammer,
which
black lager,
is still sitting in the fermenter.
which is now looking like this. Okay, so obviously that one got infected. Something happened, turned south. So we'll see if it's going to become anything drinkable. We'll do a taste here in a little bit, see if it's worth keeping or if we're going to dump it and burn that fermenter. We'll see. And then at the end of that month, I did the Insatiable Black IPA, which is a fun session black beer, or black IPA. Didn't really like how that one came out too much, but we drank it nonetheless. November was another busy brew month.
Very busy.
We did Dropkick Nate, not a 10-gallon batch. We did the dry stout that we're having now. Cheers.
We did
the dry stout. I mentioned that. Did the So beer.
Smoked bourbon.
Bourbon.
Irish Imperial.
Irish Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. That beer's getting bottled up soon. That beer is
phenomenal.
So good. We were just talking today about brewing another batch of it. It is so good. So good. Ouch! My nuggets! That one also went down along with the Woolly Walrus Winter Warmer. which is another crazy fun beer. Big old beer. That's like 9.4, 9.3, something like that. And then we did a 10-gallon batch of, or I did, you were in
I
late for
finished,
that day. You helped finish up.
came in.
That was the time for another IPA.
That was the day that we.
That was the day we learned about our friend Paul.
So
and
there
then-
were 6 different beers brewed in the month of November.
That's right. And then in December, we did Peculiar One and Supercharger, 10 gallons of Supercharger, all in one day. So May being the busiest, November coming in for the second. That was our year at Under the Table. So thought it might be fun to just kind of relive that and go through the beers that we brewed. And
Time for another one.
it's time for another one.
So
Until next time.
thanks for being with us all this time.
Absolutely. We
And,
got some fun things planned for this year.
Yeah,
Got some things you'll see.
we'll keep you posted.
Keep an eye out on what's going on in the channel, and we'll be here. Did somebody say it was time for another one? Ah, the Supercharger. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Home
Brew.
up.
That's so good.
Great Scott, Marty.
That's
Fantastic
really good.
beer.
That's very good.
Cheers.